An 11-week Toronto police initiative kicks off tomorrow, aimed at cracking down on gun violence.
There are people shooting other people, and those are the people that we want off the streets.
Chief Saunders details a plan to combat a summer of shootings, with almost 90 incidents in the past 6 weeks. Plus, Mitzi Hunter officially launches her bid to lead the Ontario Liberal Party, meaning 1/3 of the 6-person caucus is now in the race. And
we have dill-infused lemonade with sweet pickles.
Pickled lemonade, anyone? What about a cookie dough burger? We'll preview the, let's call them, unique dishes at this year's CNE. Good evening, I'm Mike Wise. Toronto Police will launch a new program tomorrow aimed at tackling the rash of shootings we've seen this summer. As we first told you last night, the Guns and Gangs Task Force is being beefed up for the next few months. Our Lorenda Redikoff tells us how it'll work.
Toronto's police chief says don't expect to see a big increase in police cars in high-crime neighborhoods.
Our frontline vehicles have the big sirens on top and they're painted really bright. And, you know, with street gang subculture, they can see that from a mile away. So all you do is you go in and you hide and then you come back out again.
He says this new initiative will be intelligence-based. It's called Project Community Space. It'll run 11 weeks under the Gun and Gang Task Force. Chief Saunders didn't get into specifics today.
I won't give up the actual numbers because the numbers are going to be fluctuating.
But CBC Toronto has learned 45 officers from 17 different divisions will be involved. Project Community Space will start tomorrow and run until the end of October. Police will work with Toronto Community Housing and its special constables, areas dealing with recent shootings. The chief says gangs have become increasingly sophisticated.
And there has been a transition from just notoriety and belonging to an entity that now makes money, and the money is driven from narcotic distribution and human trafficking as well.
This initiative is happening thanks to $4.5 million from all 3 levels of government. One lawyer wants the governments to invest the same amount into community programs and gave a caution about how officers talk to young people.
If they approach them with the mentality, oh, maybe these guys are on bail, or maybe they're violating something, or maybe they have something in their pocket, then those people are going to be resistant to communicating. If they come with the approach, hey guys, like, we know you're losing a lot of people out here, we don't want any more deaths, can you help us out?
I was petrified to go out after this all happened. And, you know, I feel for the seniors, I feel for the kids. Let's feel for the seniors, I feel for the kids. Let's see if we can clean up the neighborhood and get rid of all this violence and get rid of the guns.
I also spoke with a group of Somali mothers who didn't want to go on camera. They said they don't feel safe and they feel frustrated because they've seen these big police announcements before, but they feel in the end nothing changes in their community. Lorenda Redikoff, CBC News, Toronto.
Peel police are still looking for a man in connection with the shooting in Mississauga yesterday. Surveillance video from neighbors is giving us new insight into what happened leading up to the incident. Linda Ward explains.
The argument started at this home and extended down this alley. Residents say they heard the couple violently arguing over a set of keys. Now, some high-quality video from an adjacent home shows the couple walking towards Cherry Blossom Circle, where the woman was shot.
You see him clearly here. He's holding a towel over his hand. And she's walking out barefoot. They're arguing. And you can clearly see it's him.
Zanera Loan's cameras take us to the front of the house and down the street. You can see a knife in the woman's hands clearly. They walk along the road here fighting. Neighbors say the woman was trying to stab him, and then there were gunshots.
People standing there, the girl was shot, and she was screaming, she was crying.
The woman was bleeding from the leg. Witnesses say he just walked away calmly. This blood splatter and this surveillance footage shows he actually approached one resident's front door.
It was very scary. Had it been, he could shatter my window, he had a gun with him.
Police followed this trail of blood all the way along this road, through the park and onto an adjacent street where they say the suspect jumped into a police cruiser. Now, police deployed a taser, even fired on the vehicle to try and stop him, but he got away anyway. About 10 minutes west of here, he ditched the cruiser, and police say he stole a Santa Fe and got away again. 31-year-old Michael Cleghorn isn't just wanted for this. He's also wanted for a 2017 murder in Thunder Bay and some sex assault charges in Toronto. He hasn't been seen since, and that has some residents worried.
I was shocked because this neighborhood is really quiet. It never happened here before.
I'm living here for like over 5 years now, and this is first time I got this kind of incident.
It's very scary to see that it happened right beside our own house.
Police don't know if he's still driving that Santa Fe, but say if you spot Cleghorn, don't approach. He's possibly armed and definitely dangerous. Linda Ward, CBC News, Mississauga.
An update to another story we brought you last night about a man shot by a police officer in Vaughan. Ontario's police watchdog is now investigating. It happened in the area of Islington and Steeles around 8 o'clock last night. Officers were trying to stop a stolen vehicle. That's when the driver of the vehicle hit another car. Now, after a confrontation between officers and the driver, one of the officers shot the man. He was taken to hospital with serious injuries. A woman who was in the vehicle with him was also taken to hospital as a precaution, as was the officer involved. Both the SIU and York Regional Police are investigating. And yet another delay tonight for tenants of 650 Parliament Street. They were forced from their homes due to a fire last year. In fact, it's been almost a year since they've had to find new places to live. And today they learned it'll be at least another 3 months before they're allowed to go back home. Greg Ross has more.
I miss my view, I miss my neighborhood, I miss all of the things that I own that I have no access to.
In 1 week, it'll be exactly 1 year since tenants were forced from this building at 650 Parliament Street.
It's a mental toll, it's an emotional toll, it's a toll on my relationship. It's extremely harmful, and I do not think the building understands that.
We regret certainly not being able to get people in faster.
Today, the company that manages the building held a press conference to update the situation. They say as of the end of July, they were about 65% through the necessary reconstruction of the building at a cost of $50 to $60 million with daily work ongoing.
The highest number of staffers, consultants, trades, etc. on site in a single day was 246. On average, we have 171 various trades on site.
Do you think that they're doing their best to get you guys back in here, to get this fence taken away and to get things back to normal for tenants?
Do you see this as a hive of activity right now? Do you see contractors in and out, the hundreds of people they're claiming are on site every day?
The management company also claims to have invested $13 million into a tenant assistance program to ensure tenants have no additional out-of-pocket expenses. Elizabeth says she's staying in Scarborough and paying about $700 more per month. She says she's only getting about half of that from management.
I think the last check we got was $342, something in that amount.
Property management also recently cleared out the contents of every apartment, relocating it to a temporary storage facility in the parking garage, where tenants will soon have access to it once again.
I believe the first visits are starting later this week, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's a good thing. Certainly will mean we'll be able to get the work done faster, and I think it's a positive thing to be able to reunite people with their contents.
But they are now pushing the date to move back in to the fall. They say likely November. Do you think that that will happen?
It's what they were saying to us a year ago, wasn't it? They were saying we'd be home by Christmas last year. I really can't trust them anymore as much as I want to be a kind and trusting person.
For months now, we've been under the impression that the cause of this fire was an electrical failure. It's something the mayor has even talked about. But when asked about it today, the spokesperson for the management company here said because the fire marshal's office has yet to release its report, they can't say for sure that's what happened here. Greg Ross, CBC News, Toronto.
The race to lead the Ontario Liberal Party added another name tonight. Scarborough-Guildwood MPP Mitzi Hunter making the announcement in her riding, promising to lead the provincial party back to form. Kelda Yoon reports.
I am running to be the leader of the Ontario Liberal Party.
In a gym full of supporters, Hunter laid out her plan for the party ahead of the next provincial election.
We need to knock on 1 million doors in Ontario by 2022.
Hunter is just one of 6 Liberals who has a seat in legislature. Michael Coteau, MPP for Don Valley East, is another. He too has announced his bid for leadership, meaning 1/3 of the caucus is now in the race. 2 others who have also thrown their name in the hat are former Transportation Minister Stephen Del Duca and one-time political aide Alvin Tedjo. While the Liberals suffered a big loss to the PCs last October, Hunter says public sentiment may be changing.
The biggest complaint that I hear from people at the door is that they're losing trust in Doug Ford.
Her supporters, of course, are also confident the Liberals can take back the reins.
We just need to let Doug Ford keep on doing what he's doing, and the people of Ontario are going to vote a different way.
Hunter says her goals include raising the high school education rate to 90% and making it easier for workers who have lost jobs to upgrade their skills.
Let's do this together.
Hunter's bid is also a historic one. She is the first Black woman to run for an Ontario party leadership, something not lost on her and those who see themselves in her.
Ontario is used to Black women leading. Now there's an opportunity to do so as Premier.
Being a young Jamaican immigrant, she does serve as a role model for me. We came from the same area, actually.
You're like, oh, Missy Hunter, I want to be just like her, you know?
Candidates have until November 25th to register their bid for the Liberal leadership. The big vote will take place on March 7th, 2020. Kelly Yoon, CBC News, Toronto.
Colette Kennedy's here with the first look at the forecast. We got a cooler day on tap tomorrow, but overall, we cannot complain about this summer.
Yeah, it's kind of like there's something for everyone. So even someone like me, I like humidity, but I enjoyed the weather today, and I'm going to enjoy the weather tomorrow as well. But for those of you that do like not only humidity, but the heat, well, looks like that's coming back to us for this weekend. But I thought we'd just kind of recap so far for summer of 2019. The hottest day so far was back on the 20th of July. So last month, 33 degrees. But the days we've seen, we've got 10 now in terms of days where we've been 30 degrees or more. And on average, we have about 12. So if we get a few this weekend into early next week, yeah, we're going to be around average. Just nothing like 2018 where there were a lot of days. There was a lot of heat in 2018 through the summer. Overnight tonight, I do want to just mention some isolated showers possible towards southwestern Ontario. Mostly clear, though, along the northern shore of Lake Ontario. And into tomorrow afternoon, some spotty showers developing into Michigan. Those may push across the international border here. And also look what happens just to the north and to the northwest of the GTA. A few showers, that risk there. So I put even the chance into the city, but it's a very slim one. Greater chance southwest and to the north. Overnight tonight, though, nice conditions, 16 degrees, mostly clear skies, 24 to 25 tomorrow with some increasing cloudiness later in the day and that slight risk of a shower.
Okay, thanks a lot, Colette.
You're welcome.
The most exciting part of this technology is that we spend so much time on our phones.
And now that time can be put to beneficial use. We'll tell you about a new app being developed that could allow you to test your blood pressure by taking a selfie. We'll explain how it works after the break. Welcome back. There are more and more gadgets available that'll let you monitor your health. My watch, for instance, monitors my heart rate. Well, now a local developer hopes to make it easier for you to measure your blood pressure using the camera on your smartphone. But as Lauren Pelly tells us, privacy experts are urging caution when it comes to sharing your health data.
Imagine using a smartphone selfie to learn how healthy you are.
The most exciting part of this technology is that we spend so much time on our phones.
Researcher Kang Lee is developing an app that scans your face in just 30 seconds.
The technology is called transdermal optical imaging. So the principle is very simple.
As light penetrates your skin, it hits a protein inside your red blood cells called hemoglobin, which carries oxygen throughout your body. When the light bounces back, it reveals your blood flow. Lee's app captures that data to figure out someone's blood pressure and more.
So our app can measure accurately your heart rate, your stress, your blood pressures, your BMI, your facial skin age, your cardiovascular disease risks, and finally, you have a total health score.
While more research is needed, one early study showed the technology is roughly 95% accurate at predicting someone's blood pressure in under 2 minutes. We decided to test it out and compare it to traditional methods for assessing your blood pressure, body mass index, and heart rate. By using an arm cuff and some number crunching, a nurse was able to share my health status. The results were almost identical, but it took a whole lot longer than the app.
This is actually, it took at least 3 years of work to get to where we are.
Lee's full app isn't on the market yet, but hundreds of other high-tech health companies are already tracking users' data, from weight changes to hormonal cycles. Others, like 23andMe, are offering DNA analysis results over email.
That means there's now a whole lot of personal health data floating around on these. So what's that mean for modern medicine and your privacy?
Imagine if some very sensitive health-related data got into the hands of your employer or your insurer, and you didn't know about it.
So you know how we have these eyeball recognition you see on the movies? So could they actually take that image of my eyes and then now create an image, which is basically just a digital number that they can then feed and then bypass any type of security? So these are the kind of strange things that we need to think about.
Lee says his app won't tie health data to someone's name, keeping it anonymous, and he hopes it will do more good than harm.
The preventative care and medicine would save, make our life better, also save a lot of costs to our healthcare system.
Lauren Pelly, CBC News, Toronto.
Of course, there are already apps to count your calories and your cholesterol levels, and you might need them at the CNE this year. It's back on Friday with some of the city's craziest culinary delights.
It started off just as like the cookie dough, and then we just wanted some extra flavors, and you kind of just keep adding until something works, and this is where we ended up.
We have dill-infused lemonade with sweet pickles.
I don't know, pickle may be the theme this year, but I keep saying if you have a cholesterol problem, pace yourself, because I don't want you to get sick.
If that's the case, you might want to skip some of these other offerings like a flaming hot Cheeto corn dog, ice cream pressed spaghetti, and Japanese pancakes. The annual festival is also offering some new entertainments, including a stand-up comedy show, a Ninja Warrior-style obstacle course, and an augmented reality art show. The X kicks off Friday and runs until September 2nd. What will the weather be like for opening weekend? We'll have that when we come back.
The weather update is brought to you by Train Extreme Conditions Testing. It's hard to stop a train, really hard. Train, the most reliable heating and cooling brand.
The Blue Jays with an afternoon game today, hoping for a series sweep against the Texas Rangers. Fourth inning, Buddy Boschers on the mound. Jays trailing by one with a pair in scoring position. Danny Santana brings him home. His hit gets past Brendan Drury there. Let's go to the seventh inning, and Nomar Mazara hits a monster of a home run to the fourth deck. Texas goes on to win the game 7-3 to avoid a sweep. And Denis Shapovalov getting swept today at the Western and Southern Open in Cincinnati. Luca Pouille taking the first set. Shapovalov clearly frustrated, hitting the net there. Off the serve here, he puts the backhand into the net, and he tosses his racket up. Doesn't even catch it. Same game after a quick rally off the top of the tape and wide. He just can't believe things. Screams at himself there. The errors continue as Pouille takes it in straight sets, 6-4, 6-4. Colette is back with her extended forecast. So we have a nice, comfortable, sunny day tomorrow, but the humidity is on its way back.
Yeah, it's going to be coming back. This is a kind of a short-lived break that we have. So if you're looking for it, look no further than this weekend. You're going to feel some of those humidex values upper 30s by the time we get to the end of the weekend. For now, though, comfortable temperatures and also not sticky, so it's just comfortable all around. Chance for showers Thursday. Greatest chance will be to the north or northwest of the GTA and towards the southwest, but slight chance there for the city. And then that humidity, yeah, coming back for the weekend. Our highs today, a little more moderate. Still at this time of year, we should be around 26 to 25. We'll be kind of similar for the daytime temperatures tomorrow. And in terms of our sky conditions, we'll likely have a lot of sunshine beginning and then some of those clouds building into the afternoon. As I mentioned, overnight tonight, southwestern Ontario, some isolated showers or even the odd rumble of thunder through the overnight. And then that risk into tomorrow afternoon. There's not a lot of activity, but there's some there. So most areas will stay dry. A few of you will encounter some of these, and back towards cottage country as well and to the northwest. Again, that risk into tomorrow later in the day, however. All right, for Friday, what we're looking at, again, kind of variable skies through the day. And then we get into that situation. Now, the humidity is only starting to come up a little bit, but we do get into a situation where we'll start to see some wet conditions to our north, and we have to put that risk in there. So I do think there'll be some stray showers coming our way for, again, later in the day on Friday. So not everyone getting wet, but that potential's there, and you certainly have it into southwestern Ontario. You know, I could tell you the next several days, and you're going to see this on the 5-day forecast, we have that kind of potential each day, and it builds into the weekend. So shower risk overnight tonight. These are your lows, 16 to 18 degrees into southwestern Ontario. And then tomorrow afternoon, the reason I put the probability of precipitation 40 to 60, because over towards London, it's more 40, less of a chance. Further back towards the southwest into the Windsor area, you're looking at more of that 60% chance. GTA overnight tonight, 15, 16 degrees for the overnight lows. Really comfortable conditions. 23 to 24. May see the odd 25 tomorrow into the afternoon hours. And there you go. Increasing cloudiness, some stray showers possible. Friday, the chances enhanced a little bit. Enhanced a little more late day Saturday, but the temperature's building and the humidity building. So that 30 degrees on Sunday, Mike, it's going to feel closer to 37 or 38. That'll be the humidex.
Okay, thanks a lot, Colette.
You're welcome.
That's the sounds of local band Running Red Lights. Tonight, they are part of King Street Live. It's a new event this summer. Local artists will take over a different spot on King Street every Wednesday night to entertain the crowds coming down to explore the restaurants and shops. We'll be right back. So where were you when the power went out? Today marks 16 years since one of the biggest blackouts in history. Everything ground to a halt just after 4 p.m.
The Premier has declared an energy emergency across the province.
In the downtown core, there is no power.
September 11th, that's what's going through my mind right now.
There is no subway, there are no buses, there are no streetcars, nothing for now. We're all stuck together.
It was commuter chaos all over the GTA that afternoon. Subways, streetcars, buses stopped running and the traffic signals were out. Regular citizens directed traffic to help move things along. Thousands of people spilled out of buildings and onto sidewalks and streets in the downtown core, trying to find a way home. Flights were canceled and thousands of travelers were left stranded at Pearson. There'd be no answers for hours as to when the power would be restored. The blackout extended over 24,000 square kilometers from Chicago all the way down to the Atlantic coast, including most of Ontario. I know where I was. I was out all night covering that blackout. I even recognize some of my footage from that night. Before we go, another anniversary being marked tomorrow, the 50th anniversary of the start of Woodstock. On Metro Morning, we'll hear from a Toronto woman who was one of the people who actually bought a ticket to the festival in upstate New York. She'll stop by with her memories of the music festival around 7:40 a.m. We'll leave you with more from the CNE. Good night.